Hey everyone, how's it going? I got a new tutorial topic for you today. We're going to be covering switch statements inside of Java. I'm not sure if you follow me from my previous channel on YouTube, but I've done this tutorial before and it came out pretty bad. I think I had done it in 2 parts and it was just completely hard and just wasn't good at all for teaching or learning anything. So I got Eclipse open. I'm just going to create a new Java project, name it switch. And in there I'm just going to create a new class, also name it switch, and we're just going to keep it basic, so let this open up, and in here I'll just go ahead and create the main stuff. And inside of here I'm gonna create a few things. So the first thing we're gonna do is, what we're gonna be switching is the age of a person. That's gonna be our example. And what switch statements do is basically it's an alternative to if statements. It could save you a lot of time with if else and stuff like that, because you can do multiple things at once, checking if a number is this or a character is this, and I'll explain that in a second. So let's just go ahead and create an int age, and we'll just set that equal to 5 to begin with, just something simple. And the way we do switch statements is we put switch, open the parentheses, and you want to put the variable that you're going to be switching, or the object, or whatever. So switch statements can do characters, it can do integers, it can do enumerations. I'm not sure if you've seen a video on that or not. I'll probably do a video on that. I can't recall if I have or not. I think I did on my previous channel, but that's getting out of the way, and I'd rather not have my viewers go there because my old tutorials were pretty bad. So we're just going to stick with this. So we're going to put the variable age in here because that's what we're going to be checking. Then we're going to have an open curly brace and a closing one. And what switch statements does is it has a case, and you can have multiple cases. And by default, you're going to want to have a break. A default. Sorry. And what a default is going to be, it's going to be like essentially the else in an if statement. So if you had an if else and then if else, and you had a list of them, and then you have an else to check if it's not one of those, it could be an error check or something like that, and see if your logic is messed up or something. So basically that's what default is going to do. And if you heard me say break earlier, each break is going to have its own, or each case rather, is going to have its own break. And the default doesn't have to have it because you usually put it last, and it would be the last thing it's checked anyway, so it's just going to close out right after it's done anyways. So you don't really need a break statement for that. I guess you could put one if you wanted, but it doesn't really matter. So you notice I put the number 5 because this is what we're going to be checking. We're going to be checking if age is 5, and that's what it is. That's what a case is. So it basically would be replacing like if age equals 5, and then obviously you'd have an if statement for each case you had in here, and you can obviously have multiple ones, such as 1, case 2, case 3, and obviously case 4. We'll just do those 5. And you notice that I haven't included the break statement in between these, and I'll explain that in a little bit. I'll just show you what's going to happen now. And I do want to say something, that you can have multiple lines inside of each case. So let me just type this out. You are 5 years old. And even if you want to save time, you can just do this, just so it prints out the age by itself, and you could just copy and paste that. But that's kind of useless, but that's a good point if you're going to use the case in the thing. I'm getting ahead of myself, and I'll explain that in a second. So I don't want this to take too long, so I'll just go ahead and compile this really quick. So run as Java application, and as you see it says you are 5 years old. So if I were to change this to 1, you notice we still have a case 1, but we don't have anything inside the case, right? But if you notice, it says you are 1 years old. That's grammatically incorrect. And the reason for that is because if you see, it has case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, up to case 5, and then the breaks after case 5, after you have the line. So if you can guess, the break is going to split these cases up. So if you want a case to have the same effect for multiple options, so if you wanted something between 1 and 18 to do something, you could have case 1 to 18 without a break, and after 18 you can have the break and then do something else for later ages. I'm not sure if you get that, so let me just show you what this is going to do now, and I'll just print out something else really quick. Oh, I can't type today. We'll just say hello, just to show you that it's going to be different. And you see it prints out hello, and that's because we do have a break now, and it doesn't continue on with the cases under it because it breaks right here. This break statement closes out of this switch statement. So that's what a break statement does. That's what a switch statement does. And these cases are very useful. But now if I did 2, it would continue to 3 and 4, and same thing with 3, it would continue to 4 and 5. But if I had something inside of here, like hello from 2, but I set the age to 3, it would say you are 3 years old, and that's because it doesn't do anything until the case is called. So if I had case 3 up here instead and removed it from here and ran it, you see it would do hello from 2 and then continue on because there's no break statement and do this as well. So that's handy, and you notice that order does matter inside of switch statements. So switch statements can be useful for a number of things, and they can be sometimes a pain if you don't know what you're doing. Like this age example, you wouldn't really want to do that unless you only have a few age, because you don't really want to have like 1 to 18 cases and etc. on to like 100 or whatever you think the average age is for a human or whatever is going to be using it. Basically, you just want to have an if statement with like range numbers, like if it's greater than this and less than this and stuff like that inside of one statement. But that's not part of this topic anyway. So we're at 7:45 right now. Sorry I haven't been making video tutorials. I'm really sorry about that. I really have been trying to, and hopefully this will get it going again and see what we can do. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you get that. If you don't, please feel free to comment, and I'll help you guys out. See you later.